All right, what's happening, y'all? Welcome, welcome. After a week hiatus, we are back to some pretty tight price action in the post-Christmas, pre-New Year's Eve holiday price action. Before we get started here, we will start out with the disclaimer. Just bear with me for a second. Material information and presentation is for educational or entertainment purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice or recommendations. Any and all statements made on this channel are the sole opinions of Options Millionaire and should not be taken as financial advice. No financial decision should be made based on the material shown here on this channel. Trading futures, equities, and options involves substantial risk of loss is not suitable for all investors. Any investor can potentially lose all or more of the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Trading is one of the riskiest and most difficult tasks one can undertake and must be approached with extreme caution. Do not invest any money you cannot afford to lose. Excellent. So, one of the good things about slow price action such as this is that trend lines and support and resistance lines are very much respected. And if you plot the highs and lows since 1120, you would see a very clear trend line to the upside and downside. And even now, we're about to fail to the downside. Muy interesante, to say the least. Bookmap cleared off a lot of stuff here. It's just a 1 o'clock top of the hour. They cleared that liquidity book off. ES did the same, but left on 48.40 with another sell iceberg, a 204 big red candle, all the way down, and still falling on NASDAQ. Holy crap, what's going on? This must be the bond auction. This must be the bond auction. All the way up. So 48.31. NASDAQ just plummeled on down, testing the prior morning low right here. And let's see what they could do. A lot of volatility. A lot of volatility. Puts at the top again. Nice. Liquid Lubu. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So they're shifting liquidity down to 0.60. And they are making a move for show. For show. What sort of effect and what for duration would another black swan event have on the market? Well, we haven't really had a black swan event since coronavirus. So, I mean, anything like that happens, I mean, it'll be a quick trip, especially as inflated this market is. Anything like that would be devastating to this type of market. And obviously, a black swan event is you're unable to see it. Man, look at this red action, new low of the day. What is going on? This must be the bond auction, the 1 o'clock bond auction. That's what this has to be. That. Well, that was a 12. That was a 12:30, so it's already passed. Top of the hour sell. Wow. Right when we come on here, big old waterfall. So next liquidity down is 17.062. That's the first time we've breached 17.100 today. We've tested it. The morning low was 17.102. We just popped that with a significant 30-point sell-off to start the day. I like it. Oh, man. Yeah, it just needed me here on. Nice. Usually it happens when I sign off, but today it happened when I signed on. So, and for a duration of a black swan event, who knows? I guess it depends on the event. You know, it's unfortunately we are not blessed with the ability to see those coming. Otherwise, we'd all be rich. 17.108. Let's go back and look. There were no icebergs to account for on the move before. On NASDAQ, ES did have some sell icebergs hit the tape right before the move. So that is now 2 days in a row. Yesterday it happened, today it happened, where they hit those icebergs, the sell icebergs, right before this move down. Now, it wasn't that big of a move on ES. ES only, what, 7-8 points? NASDAQ 30 points, which is not that big of a deal, but it's nice on today's chart. It's a big move for today's chart, which is all that matters, right? Still pressing lower. Looks like NASDAQ is going to try to punch 48.27 ES. NASDAQ is going to try to punch this, maybe come on down to 6.2. on this move. China. New low of the day, 17,093, pushing. CVD is dumping over hard. So a lot of definitely sell momentum here as the algo is kicked on big time. 17,100, yeah. Yep. Still pushing. Not a lot of bottom wick right now. I'm just trying to really get a handle on this. Took out the prior bounce. That was a very weird flush. Yeah, welcome back, price action, for show. For show. Still holding. That's another bottom wick back up, 17,100. It's all about managing. Look, they have put a big old iceberg on right here. It's 48.27. That's going to have a bit of a draw. That's going to be a big draw on liquidity right there, 48.27. See, what is that? That's only, what, 3 points down. NASDAQ still has the 17,087 and the 60.50 on down there. That's two major bottom wicks on the 5-minute chart, though. Both candles were heavily bottom wicked. We need 47.75 in SPX to clear the entire green candle from yesterday's close. Yeah. Well, overall now, we just took out the morning low. We're bouncing off of it as we speak. We're right back inside the morning range. And if you look at what I'm looking at, honestly, today I'm really focusing on NASDAQ because ES is just in a far too tight a price action. It's just not worth it. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. But if you look at this price action here, the 5-minute chart, we've got the morning high, which is right there, and the morning low, which is there. And that's the range. So you see right now, that's what's holding us up. That prior demand, that sell side liquidity that was just formed on that bounce is holding. And we have two now major 5-minute bottom wicks. So that's what's holding us up right now. Hope you all know if I could time travel, I'll let you know how much we'd rise and fall. I appreciate that, Kennedy. That's very kind of you. It's very kind of you. In addition to that, kind of what we were talking about earlier, the benefit of trading low volatility price action is that it usually forms pretty clear trends. And you see those. I mean, that entire move right there was encapsulated by those trends. And they are about to hammer that candle back to green. And that is what the homeboys call oof. Big old explosion of price action right there, all the way up. And that's a major double tweezer right there. If that holds with this kind of volume, oof. All the way back up. Same script, different volatility. Nice, Liquid Lubu. Beautiful. So that's going to capture the entire move, it appears, once it breaks this trend line. And it's blasting. All the way back up. 30 points up, 30 points down. VIX is holding 1254, and NASDAQ is still rocketing right on back up to where it was. Just a quick liquidity grab. Got to keep people on their toes. And there you go. So, where'd the liquidity grab? So ES did not transact this liquidity yet. $15.33. Have another iceberg here, 85.75, and then we still have an 805 liquidity down at 48.27. All right, so we're trading just a touch after a little bit of a top wick back on here. We'll see what we can do here. See what we can do. Nice little move back lower. All right, before we really get rolling here, I do want to discuss the deal that Bookmap is releasing now. And let me get this up for y'all. Let me get this cage correctly. There we go. All right, so 30% off on all annual subscriptions. And just remember, this is available to new users, digital users, prepaid users, existing paid monthly service, and global paid quarterly. So, and this runs from December 26th to January 3rd. This runs for the digital global, global plus, digital plus. And here is how you go about doing that if you want to do that. So for brand new users, click this form, use this code, bada bing, right? For digital and previous pays, same thing. Click on log in, make sure you're in the subscription tab, use the code, and complete the checkout. Same thing pretty much for both of these two here. Just make sure you log in first and then use this code. This will get you 30% off. You also have down here, you got this little thing for some FAQs, New Year's sale. And what are the regular prices? Regular, here's the regular prices, here's the discounted prices. 30% off is pretty hefty. Who's eligible? New users, digital users, prepaid Bookmaps users there. And can you take advantage of the deal if you already used the Black Friday deal from last month? Yes, you can, if you participated in it. They'll prorate the difference. The following groups are only eligible for the deal right there. What if you encounter issues? Of course, use support at bookmap.com. Bada boom. Let me know if you have any questions, and of course, you could reach out to Bookmap as well. They're fantastic customer service. They'll get back to you quick. If you are using a big user of the Discord of the Bookmap products, there's not a better product out there and a better way to go about signing up. Let me know if you have any questions. Right there. That is the code right there. By the way, Bravo, Mike, November, Yankee, Echo, 30% sign, Oscar, FF, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. All right, anyway, back to Bookmap here. We still have this liquidity draw here, 805 at 48.28. NASDAQ right here has got 17,060. Not much up 17,162. I would still look for this to be filled down here. All I'm seeing is Bookmap. Yeah, it was on our YouTube stream. It was on our YouTube stream. But here, I'll screenshot it for you and put it. There. Here's how to do that. Right there. And here's the FAQs. and here's the code. Right there. All right. What are your thoughts regarding trading futures during these times? I certainly wouldn't trade options. So if you are going to trade, I would encourage you to trade. I would encourage you to trade futures. Even then, I would cut it back. So if you're normally trading Nasdaq or ES, I would go to micros. I mean, this is pretty obviously some pretty wiki stuff, pretty tight stuff, which is really normal in a holiday week. I kind of warned my members about this, that it's a slow stuff. We're bumping right up against all-time highs. Tomorrow is the last day of the year to do it. We have a phenomenal amount of exposure on tomorrow on the options chain, and it's mostly down to 475. So it looked like for the we are kind of building like a boiling pot here. We're ready to get a move going, and it could come tomorrow. Yeah, vertical spreads are fantastic in this environment. If you're willing to get a little closer and get some credit, 100% is that spreads are beautiful. But yes, I definitely would not. I would recommend staying away from long options this week, especially short-dated options. If you're going to put on a long swing play, cool, go for it. But in terms of scalping and short-dated options, I'd stay away from it. I'd go purely for futures, and even then, cut it back to micros or just a fraction of what you normally play. This is not the week to be slinging it. 2024 will have a phenomenal amount of volatility. We don't need to trade Christmas week. All right. Futures are super tough right now. I mean, honestly, you got to be Johnny on the spot. You have to be very patient to trade this stuff. I have no desire to sit here and scalp 3-point moves. What I would rather do is wait for outlier moves, like longing the morning low, rejecting the overnight pivots with futures. So what I would do is I would put a preemptive order, limit order at those particular limits, those levels, the pivots, and let them transact and put a stop on them. And if they work out, great. If not, that's it. I'm walking away. Right now, you see that it's respecting. Again, I've said this earlier, is that the lower volatility, the benefit of it is that it respects. There's not enough volume to blow through major levels, so it usually respects them pretty well. It formed the morning range, the algorithmic morning range. It's holding to that, and then of course the algorithmic trend, it's rejecting right on top of that. So you can play those. You can exploit them, although not that much. And then of course of order flow, we've got this major iceberg 48.27, which the past 48 hours they've been respecting really well. We have this 48.40 liquidity here overall pinned. Nasdaq doesn't really have much. There's not a lot to go off of in terms of liquidity with Nasdaq. I went to paper trading the past couple of weeks just to preserve capital, and even what I do on paper is impossible for my style. Yeah. Paper trading is, we all know what paper trading is. In my opinion, I would paper trade as little as possible. I would not get in the habit of paper trading to scratch the itch of trading, because you're going to build some false confidence. I would only use paper trading to test technical strategy. That's it. Not any kind of execution or stuff like that. Otherwise, you're going to get false confidence. What I would prefer you do is that trade one micro ES or one micro Nasdaq if you want to do that. If you want to test the strategy, put up one ES. It's $5 a contract. You're at most today you're risking $40 because the range is only like 10 points, $50. So that's what I would do. Test with micro futures if you're going to test a strategy. Stay away from paper trading. The only way I would recommend paper trading is if you are learning a new broker, learning a setup / execution style of thing, just to learn the how to work the broker. Other than that, stay away from it. And by the way, here is the link. I'm going to link people on just in case. $17,119. Well, we had a little influx of volatility there, and now right back to the POC status quo. Status quo. Would you make a comment on the Russell 2000 M2K, the micro? I personally want to start trading more of the micros, more of the Russells. I'm sorry. I don't typically trade it. I do pay attention to it from the realm of market awareness, but I don't necessarily. But that's going to change in 2024. Especially, I mean, the past couple of months, it's been straight up. It's been the reason why we've rallied to such a degree, is that the small caps have rallied. $17,117. Let's go ahead and take a look. Speaking of Russell, let's take a look at it. The Russell has had a good amount of movement today. Aside from the fact that it's holiday week, they've been putting on some decent movement. 2068, 2070, that's the big liquidity level, the draw on liquidity. Now that level is Monday's high, algorithmic high is 2067. 2067. So that's right there on Monday's highs, which would be a great place to bounce if they were to get down there. So what I would do is set a notification for about 2072, 2071, and if that were to break, I would get ready for this liquidity right here. CVD is down. You see there's a bunch of sell liquidities that hit the tape, so I'd be looking for this thing to start making some pressure on the Russell. NASDAQ don't have nothing. Barren wasteland of liquidity. All it's doing is following these lines. Let's see, it's 1330, 1323 here. I'll give it 2 minutes for the cycle. This is 1, 2, 3, 20-minute cycle. 21 minute is my cycle, so about 1 minute into the next candle, I'll look for some sort of rejection off of this, possibly. Why are you interested in the Russell moving forward? I want to diversify my day trading. I would like to involve a lot more products, and Russell is one of those. I've included oil. I'm looking into a couple of other items like gold and silver. I think the main one, though, is going to be the Russell. I think that's the obvious choice here. And then after that, it could be something like YM, which is the Dow Micros. I want to be able to offer myself and the community my analysis on 4 or 5 different names that you could exclusively trade futures on. Because there's a lot of people that are trading props. They've switched to exclusively future trading, and obviously you can't trade futures on Apple, so you need some products, and I think that's one of them. No. I need to post something in the tier 2 room real quick. All right. Back. Oh, man. Could you take a look at YM? What could be a macro level for resistance? Yeah, let's take a look. YM. The Dow futures. Using VWAP as support all day today. Let's do it on stream. How about that? Jeez Louise. What a crazy chart this has been the past 2 months. See, 30. Obviously, the 38.255 will be pivot, but that's all that's left. That thing's about to blast through that high level. I'd have to look at the positioning of the chain with the order flow and with the options chain to really gauge a next test here. That's really all that's left. The only thing left is all-time highs right there. I guess I could take this off. I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. I have updated my watch list, by the way, so if you are using my watch list, you'll see the changes made in the Broadcom being added. Wish I had more for y'all at the moment. A little bit slow after the initial movement. Do I think Microsoft will break out of its daily bull flag tomorrow with OPEX? It's possible. There's a whole bunch of exposure rolling off tomorrow, so usually we've been getting the move prior to OPEX with a pin risk into the actual event. So I don't know. It's possible. I personally don't see a bull flag on. Well, I guess it depends on where you look at it. Microsoft has been, in fact, the top three have been underperforming the small caps the past couple of weeks. So we've had a lot of weird days where Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft were red and the NASDAQ was green. It's because of items like SCMI, AVGO, AMD, all the other names. By the way, the bonds are getting creamed right now. So it's, the Microsoft, the big mega caps have kind of put on the back burner the past couple of weeks because they've been underperforming the rest of the market. I mean, look, since November they're flat, whereas everything else is rocketed. So right now, I hate to get some semantics about technical analysis here, but it really depends on what you look at right there. So you got this guy here, or you got this one here that's more of a bull flag that points down, or even here. Really depends on what you're looking at. Either way, there is, obviously Microsoft is consolidating just like ES right around this level, and we'll see. It's going to have to take out this pivot. Obviously, you've got this pivot right here. That's about 377.80 on Microsoft. It's going to have to take out. We've got 1, 2, 3 rejections right off this area. So right around this ballpark, this little 20, 30 cent range right here, Microsoft is going to have to take that out to breach. Could do it next week, could do it tomorrow, sure. Why is futures so different with all-time highs than the Dow Industrial Average? Futures are going to be different than the normal underlying traded because futures are not the actual product. Futures are futures. And there's going to be a spot difference, a spot delta change from the spot until the future. That's why if you go and look right now, ES, NASDAQ, YM, Russell, they all have that 30, 40, 50 point difference between the underlying index and the actual future. That's why it's different. Right now, that's why if you go look at all-time high in ES, it's like 5,100 or something like that because of all the different gap ups on the contract rolls. Net flow switched to puts. interesting. Let me go take a look. Refresh. Flow line. Do you see them building that right there? They're putting on a little bit here. Very small at 1780, but be aware. Be aware. They've got this little bit right here, but they are adding just a tick below. They still have this 805 liquidity on ES. I like props and features. Nice. That's Douglas. What's up, John? How you doing, buddy? All right, the flow right now on SPY is put heavy. Yeah, Apple's put heavy. Definitely. Tesla just switched to heavy call. But really, changes, man. I want to see who's dominating the tape on that because that could just mean profit taking. Like right now, it's call, selling, put, buying, but it's still pretty light. We're only one deviation in, so it's not really that crazy at the moment. $48.36. Interesting where ES just bounced off of. So if you go over and look at ES, by the way, that's one of the reasons I like to plot these levels. If you go back to yesterday's action, you've got the high and you've got the low. Actually, let's do J instead of H. Let's do J. So that's yesterday's range right there. And look where we bounced off of. Algorithms run the market, brah. Run the market. For real, for real. And here's today's range. Right there. Do we know if the option flow is buying or selling? We do know if it's buying or selling. We don't know if it's buy to close, open to close, or buy to close, buy to open, or sell to close, sell to open. That's what we don't know. And that's the interpretation part of it. And that's really why I don't pay too close attention to the options flow line, because it tends to be a little ambiguous. When do you think the market will return to pre-holiday trends / movement? I would say next week we'll get a little bit of juice. Obviously, next week is still a shortened holiday week from New Year's Eve. And then we have another shortened holiday week, another week and a half after that with Martin Luther King week. So I don't really know. It's going to pick back up next week regardless because it's the new year, new quarter. There's going to be some rebalancing. But I think we'll still have a little bit of a little tamp down there, but still much more than this week. I think aside from a little 3 to 4% retracement, we're still going to continue the bullish trend up until end of Q1, early Q2, somewhere around there. Right when they start rate cuts is when we're going to start to feel a lot of pressure and the overall theme of the market will shift. You're welcome, Andrew. You're welcome. Dude, I was in Colorado last week and I had In-N-Out Burger for the second time ever. God, I'm jelly of y'all on the West Coast. Well, I'm jelly of y'all just because of In-N-Out Burger. I love that place. Why do we have to we brought Whataburger here? Y'all could take back Whataburger. Give me In-N-Out Burger. I'd be in and out of that place all the time. Whataburger is awful. Ninth green week. Almost said like Mike Tyson there. Ninth green week on SPY. Yeah, it is. So go back and look at August of 2017. You will see a similar action. August of 2017, the S&P went on a 17% run on 11 green weeks. You need to come to Mount Bachelor to go skiing. Absolutely. I don't know where Mount Bachelor is, but you had me at skiing. Holy crap, what's going on with the S&P? Grabbing up here to 48.40. Looks like a liquidity run. Right there. They just fill the imbalance from the 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock realm. And they're already top wicking it. Look at the CVD. The CVD went wham, hit the stops. You see the stops run too? That was a stop run right there. CVD went, stops tripped, and immediate reversal top wick. Right into ES put a new high of the day in, and then reversed it. Missy Elliott. And ES still has the 48.28 liquidity. Looks pretty legit, man. I might have to try that out. We are looking to try somewhere other than Vail. I might try it out. $2,500 in 10 seconds. Nice BLC. Might be living in Alaska, but you know you're a West Coaster in your heart. You know, honestly, I am. The food, the geography, I would absolutely love to live on the West Coast. However, I have way too many AR-15s. I would not fit in. 17,135 coming up to 48.40. Doesn't stop some of us. Bachelor super fun. It looks awesome. Yeah. Oh, 2,500 volume bar. Okay. I'm gonna mute real quick. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to give me a drink. Had a little scratchy throat there. All right, so we had a little liquidity grab just like down here. Instant reversal. Back down to POC. Back down to smack dab in the middle of the range, and VWAP, by the way. Obviously, today is a bit of a whipsaw. The outlier trades are great, and they're trying to do a little something here. It was just an OM left dip, yeah. You know where about. I'm sure pretty much everyone knows about where I live. That's okay. All right, a little bit of red just right here. I just jumped into a short position after that reversal. I'm going to play the outlier moves and seeing if we can grab a little bit. I'm going to move it down here. Small short position, nothing crazy here. Move down. Did I try animal fries or animal style burgers? I didn't. Just basic fries with a basic double. I was unaware of the animal. Accent gives us a little bit of a clue. I'm a bit of a day walker though. I've got northern background with southern roots. Right off that. Still holding 17,124. They're bouncing this one back up too. $48.36. Double on cheeseburger, no fries. Nice. Oh man. Bonds got hosed. VIX still is not moving. All right, well, still looking at this level. I need to turn VWAP on this stream too. I don't use the bands. I hate bands on VWAP. I think it's biased as crap. No thanks. And I usually make my VWAP light purple, and I make it thick. That's how I do my VWAP right there. DXY is moving up. It is, yeah. VIX is slightly moving up, but overall it's pretty pinned, but it's got a slight upward trajectory. VIX is DXY is rocketing, definitely, for sure. 101. I'm still holding my very light short position here. Very, very small, but I'm putting some risk on here to see if we can retreat off that rejection. Market could really sell some points. 100%. 100%. You took MNQ with you? Nice. Thank you. Good stuff. Liquidity here still 805 at 48.28. I bet you a Buffalo nickel that's going to get transacted today. For NASDAQ, I could see downside close at 17.091, upside at 17.172. Clueless direction from Algos. Maybe they make the move last 15 minutes. Well, I do think they'll make the move last 15 minutes. I will say I am slightly biased to the downside the next day from here on out into tomorrow. I do think they're going to put some pressure on to close out the quarter. but we will see. I wonder if Mount Bachelor does military discounts. That'd be awesome. FAQs. Let's see it. UNH and GS are strong today. This drives YM higher. Yeah. Got a little bit of a plunge down there to 110, but bottom wicking. Same old theme all day today. Nothing crazy. Still holding 48.35. Stats would point red today. Is that the almanac? Y'all figure out what DSN means? Tesla's taking another dump. Nice. Ah, that would make sense. Dow spies NASDAQ. All right, here's a little bit more pressure rejection off that top. So this is the theme of the day. Long the bottom, short the top, have confidence, put on a move, and set a stop. Somehow I've got that to rhyme. Y'all see the Dodgers signed over $1 billion in free agents in the past month? Anybody baseball fans in here? It's ridiculous. Like $1.1 billion in free agent signings. If the Dodgers don't win it this next year, then, I mean, come on. Short the Dodgers. I don't want to hear any more complaints about the Yankees being a high cap team ever again. The Dodgers took that role back. Alrighty. So keep an eye on this liquidity. Still same thing. The iceberg. I used to live in LA, but don't follow baseball, but suddenly I'm a Dodgers fan because I like supporting overpowered teams. Nice. There we go. There's our move down. Sweet. So with that move down, I'm going to roll my stop down to about 115. Again, we're not talking about big profits here. It's small position size. Just follow the momentum here. So I'm going to roll my stops down a little bit lower. Now I'm in profit, so I'm guaranteed money. I'm guaranteed money. The question is how much? I started watching NFL. First year it's free on TV in Germany. I haven't watched an NFL game since the 2001 season. I don't know. Not an NFL fan. Not an NFL fan. Dodgers are going to write that off on their taxes as a loss. Yeah. Am I trading futures or future? I'm trading futures. Yeah. Yeah. So over here on NASDAQ, again, we're not talking about big movement today. So the pivot off of this range here on NASDAQ, right here, I shorted this top wick. We came into VWAP. We have a whole liquidity level up here. And if you even go all the way back, you got this whole liquidity right here. You see it. Bottom. We came up here. Bottom, bottom. Bottom again. Rejection off of it, and up here almost into it, and then we came up down, so I shorted this candle here. A WWE fan, little John Cena. Yeah, because you're on You're on Discord, Christos. I was doing it on YouTube. I can't do both on YouTube. Oh, I can't do both on Bookmap. Holy crap! I can't do both on Discord. Right here. What's up, Trev Trades? How you doing? Stopped watching NFL a long time ago. Yeah. $48.35. 17,120. Oh man. We're in Germany. Nice. Still hanging on to VWAP here. Right on back out, and that stopped me out of my short on that green candle up. Very slow movement. Wish I could be more entertaining for y'all today, but there's just really not all that much going on. So we'll just limp on through the end of the year, come out next week for a new year, new quarter, new month. Boeing urges airlines to inspect the 737 MAX after a possible loose bolt in the rudder. I was on a 737 MAX last week. It was a daunting feeling. What's BA doing today? They got smoked past 2 days. At this point, I can't even imagine how this market could get a 3% red day. Well, it's been 9 months since we've had a 3% red day. I don't know. It's the 0 DTEs every day make it very difficult to sell the market. Everything's buying the dip with calls. Very difficult. I'd rather take an Airbus than... Yeah, I like Airbus. I like Airbus. 17,111 is solid support. Yep, this whole area right here. I've been playing off these lows. I was born in Munich. Nice. I tried to learn how to speak German a couple years ago. I think I got to learn the first how to count to 10 and a couple of basic words. My grandparents were German. On my mom's side. 48.34, still pinned smack dab in the middle of the range. What's YM doing? Let's take a look there. Let's look at other opportunities. Russell is down and staying down. The Dow is up and staying up. Still have 2068 creeping down for the Russell. I can ask my questions in German, so you need to translate it before. Yeah, I would fail miserably. I would use the assistance of Google Translate if you did that. Unfortunately. 805 liquidity. So anything in this area, you need to be very careful shorting the hold. Today's not the day to short the whole. If you are going to take a preemptive short down in here, you need to take it here or after the retest. So here, it would breach, come up, top wick, and this is where you need to short for that move. But I would not short the first touch of these moves. There's too much support on a day like today. Do not short the whole. Today's not the day for it. Just exited my CL short. Nice. Yeah, CL wiped over. Look at that. Nice little move. Beautiful. Had to learn German in school as a third language. Very cool. All right, we got 2 minutes at the top of the hour. We had about 10 minutes of shaking and baking there and a lot of pin action. So this will culminate our stream in a couple of minutes. So let me know if you have any questions. Please, if you want to sign up for Bookmap, use the Bookmap code. I don't know where it went. It was on the stream. For 30% off new and existing customers. So let me post a link in the stream channel for you all. Copy. There you go. Where did I say was a good place to short? Here, let's take a look. Well, I'm gonna look on Nasdaq because that's what I'm trading today. There's not too much movement in the S&P. So if you're gonna short this action, it either has to be up here, which obviously we can't go back in time and do that, or once we breach lower and retest the prior pivot, that's where you enter short and then come lower, the retest. I would not short the first test because look what happens. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Bounce more than those cars back in the 90s with their front end bounces. Short the retest, do not short the initial drive. That's on YouTube, by the way, not on Discord. Very, very slow movement. I would not I would not blame you if you took off until Tuesday because the market is closed Monday. What about banks adjusting their portfolio tomorrow? Yep, it could happen. It could happen. End of quarter, end of week, end of month, end of year. OPEX, good stuff. All right, y'all, that is top of the hour, which means I have to shut it down. So, again, let me know if you have any questions. Very, very dull session, yes, but that's the nature of this market. I'll see you back here next Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time for the Bookmap stream, and then for the server, we'll be doing it again every week, except for Monday, because obviously the Monday market is closed Monday. I do hold long-term positions. Yes, I have 2 accounts. I've got my long-term trading, and I've got my day trading where I trade this dollar trading as well. So I highly recommend you all do the same. All right, I love you all. See you next week. I'm out.